Today we make another video regarding our varnish. I know you're waiting anxious, when is he going to cook his nice varnish? And you wouldn't believe, so I'd had everything except one ingredient I definitely love, because I think it gives me the touch of this old great violin varnish. It's the amber, and I usually order it from Crema Pigmente, or if I just happen to see some people from Russia or these areas from the Black Sea, they collect it there. Actually, it's because amber is stone, and but it's swimming. So on the seaside, it's coming on the water to the shore, and in the Black Sea there's a lot of amber. People collect it there. And so sometimes it happens to me that they give me a big bag for very little, and you have nice pieces. From Crema they have different types of amber. I take just pieces which are cutaways from amber craftsmen, and they cut away and then they just throw it away in a big box. Costs not too much, and then I buy it there. I also try to buy the powder, which is material they waste, but it's really huge. And it takes a long time to heat it up to get it melted, because it's so powdery, it takes too much time. So I prefer the pieces. And then certainly some people are there and they pick out pieces and they have to be transparent. I don't believe that the old masters made it so miracle. So I placed the order, and then I was waiting and waiting and waiting. At a certain point I said, hey, is it possible? Where is it? And then we were tracing the package. Where is it? And we figured out this is in Bologna, and it didn't come to Cremona. And then somehow somebody called up and said that the truck where my amber was inside burned. And so the whole shipping went bad. And we had to figure out how we can get another shipping from Crema Pigment. Then finally arrived, and then I had to make all my trips. So now we need some amber. Whoops! Yeah, this is now the package. When I get the package like this, then I love to make varnish, you know. So this here is how it comes. You know, it's really DHL. I'm sorry that they had to sacrifice an entire truck. You can imagine how this is burning. You know, wow. Let me see. This is my amber. Let me see what's inside here. Hold on, otherwise I'm getting to cut here myself. With throwing away the package, I learned other unpacking videos. And this is my amber. Bernsteinstückchen echt. Pieces, Bernstein is the German word for amber. Stückchen, pieces, echt, real. And this is it, you know, so it's like grounded a little bit, and I don't pick out with it. The reason I don't choose it is because on one side we all wanted a nice dark varnish, and on the other side we wanted a nice transparent varnish. And in the beginning I thought, yes, we have to choose it in order that it gets transparent, but the transparency of the varnish is something which you achieve by aging, especially on oil varnish, so it's just a question of time. So I'm glad there is a lot of not so nice transparent things inside. It makes a little bit more the varnish dark, because on these high temperatures it will burn and it will become brown, dark brown. Oil varnish, I used amber, but you could also take now copal or damar or things like this, and then start to make it really complicated. I personally believe in a very simple recipe, and this is linseed oil. Then we wash it, and we get it nice like this. This is washed a few years ago. And the linseed oil and amber, and that's it. Okay? Now, just before we get started and we go into my house outside of Cremona, I'm glad I'm living outside, because if I would make it here, I think my neighbors wouldn't appreciate it. It smells really like dead animals when you're heating that up, you know. Now, it's not the first time that I made varnish, and usually with all my apprentices, sooner or later I even make varnish with them, and then I have like a varnish Early, varnish Min, varnish Jens, varnish Jakob, and so on. And then I make with them together varnish, and with a small jar like this, I could varnish for a few years even. Because I just make 10 instruments a year, so more or less, yeah, for years I can varnish with a jar like this. There's another small detail in the very beginning of my career in violin varnish. I made about 120 different varnishes, and then with all kind of resins, and then with all kind of portions between oil and resin, and then I had my glass strips to see which is more transparent, what kind of color. I made aluminum sticks, we put it on the varnish, and we band it around a stick to see if it is elastic or if it's cracking and things like this. So now the varnish I'm using is actually the result of many small quantities of varnish I was cooking already when Nina and Anna were still not created. Varnishing with oil varnish is something for me like fundamental for a certain quality of instrument, okay? It's also big fun, you know, you just, I think you have to do it at least once. I do it already for the rest of my life. And in the very beginning, when I made all these varnishes, there was one step which was in the morning, starting to heaten up, and I had like an aluminum block with drilled holes inside, and there I put a small glass containers to pour in all my resins. Now, they have to be in glass. Now, this one here is the drinking jar of our dog here. Looks great, is inox. It comes from a chemical laboratory from Switzerland, I think. You should not cook your varnish in a metal container, because by cooking the oil it starts to make a chemical process, and you don't want now create more chemical processes than we're already having to do, okay? Cook your oil varnish in a glass container. Here in Europe the ones are from Schott. I don't know, this one was the first one I saw in the varnish show, this Czech Republic C-Max, okay? Important that it is fire resistant, so you have to put it on the fire. Back to my aluminum block, I put that one on an electric stove because it was much safer than on open fire, right? Because if you pour oil and then you heat it up, just think of your French fries you're doing now in your kitchen at home, you know that the open fire and the oil on it is just really dangerous. You wouldn't do that, right? But on varnishing, on cooking the varnish, I also didn't want to do it, so I had to heat it up in the morning, and it took me 2 to 3 hours, this electric stove, to heat up my aluminum block, and we have to be over 300 degrees. At a certain point I just said, okay, we take an open flame, and now over years I'm using here something like this. You can even see already traces of varnish which came down, and this is really dangerous. So now, if you put on this one here, no good, because the metal would react with the oil, and we don't want that. Putting a glass container up here is working really good, but it's very dangerous. Believe me, it's really dangerous. It happened to me more than once, and I hope that we are going to my garden and we're making varnish. I hope we won't have this on video. Having the varnish exploding. I had even this gas, camping gas here, the small version. I had one which was exploding once in Via Damiano Chiesa. That was just a small bomb. I just don't do it at your house. Don't do it where there are some children around. Don't do it when it is raining, because a water drop is already like a small explosion. Do it outside, far away. My student Oki Fuji showed up from Mondo Musica, and he told me from Tokyo he takes the train, goes all the way to the river direction Yokohama, and then they make like barbecuing, and beside they make the varnish. This is the right place to do it if you're living like in Tokyo, okay? Don't do it downtown. This is just too dangerous. Further, watch out your eyes. It's really hot, so this is good, but you will see how I do it at my house. I have tiles here in order that I protect it from wind, and I have something that I can take this one from far away. You cannot take it with your hand, impossible. And another nice problem is also this here. You cannot work here while the varnish is here. You would risk your hand. So here I put in a wooden stick, and from far away I can regulate how much gas is going in and out. Furthermore, watch out that your gas here is completely full, in order that while you're cooking it, you don't have to interrupt your whole process of cooking the varnish. And last detail, because I sacrificed already so many thermometers where you see all how hot it is. In the beginning you don't know how hot it is, and you want to know how hot it is, so you always go inside to measure how hot it is and everything. And then you actually start steering with the thermometer in the varnish, and then and all this mercury is going into it. It makes another kind of an explosion. No need, you don't have to measure your temperature, you don't need this here, you're just risking more than anything else, and I will show you how I do it, and you don't have to measure the temperature, okay? If you want to steer in your varnish, don't take a metal stick or a wooden stick which is burning immediately, then you need a glass stick out of glass. If it's falling down, it's broken. But I would also say, try to avoid using it to steer while it is on the fire, okay? You will see all these kind of things. Right now, just if you want to cook varnish, try to find these ones, and if you can cook, you only need one, but you need another one next to you, because the probability that you will break it is very high. These are my ingredients and my things you need. And today it's a little bit raining, so I'm hoping that nice weather is coming. First of all, I have to go to visit my daughter, and she will cut me a few videos, and she's now in Athens. But as soon as I come back and here is the sun shining, we go into my garden and we cook varnish. If you don't want to miss that issue, just sign up, you get an email, and you get the notice that I'm cooking the varnish. Hope you like my videos. See you soon cooking. Bye bye.